Hey, hello everyone. I am so thrilled because I have my dear friend Jane Powers here today. And Jane is going to be one of our guest speakers at Mastermind Millions Live in Las Vegas, which is going to completely rock. She is going to blow you away. And I asked her to come and have a brief conversation with us about a couple of things, her experience in masterminds, what she's going to teach us, and give us some of the highlights about why you must get your ass to Vegas and engage and meet and share time and space with Jane. So Jane, thank you so much. Welcome. How are you today?
I'm doing fabulous. Jay, you twisted my arm because I'm in the middle of my vacation, but I know how important this event is to me and you and everybody else. So here I am on the top of a mountain coming to you.
Thank you. Well, and I appreciate that. Every time I text her, it's like, oh, I'm out hiking. Oh, I'm having a organic salad. I'm sitting in the sun. It's like, oh, life is hard for you, woman. So listen, I won't keep you long from your holiday. And by the way, if it looks like I'm doing this and I have eyes going this way, is because I have a new camera set up and I can see myself on my computer, which I'm used to looking at, but the camera's actually up here. So, if that's what's, just know that I'm going to be a little, what is that, where you're looking at two places at one time? Distracted. But it's just looking at two cameras.
It's good luck. It's a good luck.
I'll put it on my right side.
That's your best side.
I would stand up if it was more appropriate. So on that note, let's talk about masterminds for a moment, because you and I actually met at one of our masterminds, the JVology Joint Venture Mastermind Summit. So I want to ask you, in terms of your experiences of masterminds. So this could be leading, this could be participating in. What have been some of the key either breakthroughs or takeaways or plain old laugh out loud, funny moments, anything fair game. So just share a little bit of your experience with masterminds with us.
The biggest thing for masterminds with me is, as the saying goes, it's always easier to see the picture when you're not in the frame. And I swear to God, I'm always like hanging out in the frame. I'm like, this is a brilliant idea. And I think I'm genius. And I have, a ton of ideas coming in. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm brilliant. And then I go in and it's almost like in one sitting, you get to test the market, listen to the market, create something new. So I have been, Jay, participated in a lot with you and others on every different subject matter. And every time, the best thing I've experienced is it's humbling. Where you're like, okay, so maybe idea 400,001 wasn't the best, but you find out, you validate, and what it actually does in the masterminds is it takes all of your ideas that are flying around like bullets and takes it into one really cool idea that you can make money out of. And what I'm finding is that it's a lot of people experience the same thing when I have led them. And it's really important when you're leading one to not have the bullets flying all over the place. You've got to effectively lead and facilitate a mastermind so that it does get laser focused. So for me, it has taken the squirrels and everything else that runs around in this generating idea of a brain of mine and takes it into one idea that'll make you money. So that's been mine.
I love that. And by the way, I just have to giggle when you say, the squirrels running around. There's this great big acorn just above your head on the screen.
Oh, that's so funny. Hey, I painted that. I painted that. I come up here and paint. Yeah.
That's beautiful. And just while you were saying that, you remember what the hell was that? Ice Age?
Yes.
I keep expecting the squirrel to reach in and to grab
grab my head.
So you've had pretty good luck monetizing leading masterminds and engaging in other relationships and those sorts of things. So if somebody's sitting at home, as there may well be in terms of participants in the Launch Your Mastermind Bootcamp, bring a friend tickets, those sorts of things, somebody's thinking is like, Jesus, Murphy, do I really need to go to another event? What would you say to them about getting their ass to Vegas in terms of, and if you can even give specific examples of monetization, people you've met for relationships, any of those sorts of things? Because I think just people don't know what they don't know. And it's one of those crazy things.
Yeah, there's so many questions in that one question that I think you just asked, but here's what I would say.
Do that.
The number one reason there's two really brilliant reasons that people need to get to Vegas. One, you're going to be there and I'm going to be there. So need I say more?
Enough said.
Cut, take, print. And here's the reason. There are so many business models out there. There are so many ways that you can monetize what you're doing. Take your idea, put it into 40 million programs, go on one-on-one coach, do a telesummit. There's so many things that you can do, but the power of the mastermind, because, and going a little deeper, I started my work with Mary Morrissey many years ago, and there's only one mind.
Yeah.
And it takes many human minds to access that one mind, that cone of power, as they say. But it really is about how do you take multiple minds to maximize the power of the ideas and you can do 40 million programs, it doesn't matter, but it's how do you maximize the effectiveness of what you do.
Yeah.
So at the Mastermind to Millions, there's definitely going to be a honing in of your genius into one lane. We tend to go into so many lanes, no matter what we're doing, what level we are in our business. If you're just starting out or if you've been around a really long time like Jay, then what you want to do is you want to maximize the lane that you are playing in, because otherwise you're diluting your genius, your power. So I would say the Mastermind to Millions is about taking your genius, putting it into effect, and you can learn how to lead a mastermind. Here's the beautiful thing about masterminds. It takes a little bit of the pressure off of you.
Hell yeah.
You don't have to be the one being like, oh, I'm brilliant, I have every answer for you, because what you're doing, you're accessing experience. You're accessing people's knowledge, education, their backgrounds, their pain, their suffering, their successes, their mistakes, and we're bringing it together into one thought. So that's number one. The other thing is, I'll tell you, Jay, this is the truth. I go to masterminds, I generate business. And it's not because I'm like, hey, you want to be my client? Like, I'm not just selling the hell out of everybody. People experience our genius when we're there, and we are able to showcase it because we have ideas, and that's what the mastermind does. It elevates you so that you're able to say, here's what I think. And people are like, holy crap,
yeah.
I want to work with you. So I have walked away with easy 5 figures in mastermind groups. And it's not from being being sleazy.
Well, and to be clear about this, and I've watched you engage, it is from a position of service. And that is one of the pieces it's one of the reasons why I love mastermind so much, is that if we come with the desire and intent to serve, this magic happens that we couldn't stop if we tried. While you were talking about that, I remember I was at one in Phoenix, and we were just sitting at a round table, and it was like, this person had a particular issue, and it's like, hey, number one, I've had that. Number two, this is how we solved it. Number three, this is what I do different, because I had learned a lot even in my solution, all the rest of it. And so I was just in one of those spaces of, hey, this is something I can help with. And I didn't realize until sort of the session was over that like the entire table's writing like mad. And so I leave for lunch, and there was like 6 people following me, and there was no selling in any way, shape, or form. It's just like, I need more help with that. So here's the thing, gang. You have expertise. You have heart. Nothing in the universe even comes close to sitting at a table, actually masterminding, which we're going to do at Mastermind to Millions. We are, shock of all shocks, it's a mastermind. You will practice masterminding. You will learn how to do those things. You will experience it personally. And nothing beats that engagement. No, the best copyright in the world can't beat that engagement. The largest Facebook advertising budget in the universe can't beat that engagement. There's really only one way to do it, and that is to sit heart to heart, belly to belly, and serve and support and connect with people. And that's what we do. Anyway, so I love that example. Okay. So can I tell you a quick story? It's a little, okay.
Can I stop you?
No, that's a good point. It's like, whether you listen, whether they're watching, it doesn't matter. I just really need to tell this story. But you got some good traction at Mastermind Talks, Jason Gaynard's Mastermind Talks in Ojai just a couple of weeks ago. So I actually missed their beginning thing because I was actually leading one of my online masterminds. And they went through this whole thing about how to introduce yourself to these other 150 people, or these other 149 people, and this is how you should introduce yourself. So anyway, I missed that. And then I come back and these people are all doing this little template-y thing about, what they do and who they are and all the rest of it. And it's like, you know what? Yeah, I appreciate that. But, I have this friend, and, her name is Jane, and she has a phrase that I think is frankly, a whole lot better than whatever you guys learned. So I taught probably 20 people your little phrase of how to introduce yourself. And every single one of them said, hey, that is better. That does flow better. So anyway, I gave you as many plugs as I could for that. And it is one of the little tidbits that I believe you're going to teach in Vegas, yes?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so maybe you could foreshadow that. Tell us a little bit about what you're going to share with us and teach us in Vegas to make sure that people get their ass there to experience you and your brilliance.
Yeah, here is the most important thing. Absolutely, and you were saying, Jay, because so many people introduce themselves, and I swear. So I'm going to just I'll give you a quick demonstration. So entrepreneurs hire me to unleash the world-class speaker in them because most don't realize they're boring, confusing, and inconsistent. So I help them speak with confidence and sell with authority. Here's the bottom line. Every time you open your mouth, you're going to make money. Here's the deal. When I say that, I swear, Jay, I get like, people are like, holy, I want what you have. I'm going to be teaching everybody their own personal template for an infomercial. I helped you with it, and you were like, holy shit. And that's what I want people, when they meet people, you go out networking, whether you're speaking to an audience of 1 or 1,000, I want you to have that wow factor. So I'm going to help with the wow factor. The other thing is really important. We're going to understand the power of the mastermind. You still have to fill your masterminds. You have to facilitate them. You have to sell them. It's still running an aspect of your business. So what I help people do is either it's hitting a stage, hitting a platform, webinar, doesn't matter the format. How do you clearly articulate your message so it turns into money? How do you engage and authentically connect with your audience so they are saying yes to themselves? It's nothing about us. I mean, we think we're great. They've got to know they're great. Yes. So what I'm going to help people do, get your wow factor, position yourself in the marketplace as the expert, how to have the wow factor, and whether you're speaking for 7 seconds or 7 hours, how to absolutely convert any audience that you're in front of.
Very cool. And there's a whole bunch of fantastic elements to the model that you just shared, but the one piece that I hope people listening connected with is, I support entrepreneurs or heart-centered entrepreneurs are my tribe. It's like the power of that first phrase, which is simply, entrepreneurs hire me to. Yep. If you take nothing from this little interview, and Jane and I entertaining one another, if you take nothing from this interview, that one phrase is utterly and completely brilliant. And if any of you know anything about future pacing, NLP, helping people create some quite literally landscape in their brain that holds you in a particular position, that phrase is brilliant. And for crying out loud, rip off and duplicate.
Yeah, because that phrase says, I have a viable business. And it doesn't matter if you're new or not, it immediately positions you at a higher level. And the rest of it I'll break down because it's a brain science that actually it is so authentic and it's so easy that it will convert. Just that one statement converts for me all the time.
Beautiful. And what are your 3 things? That confused, boring, and
boring, confusing, and inconsistent.
And inconsistent. Boring, confusing, inconsistent. You could have a lot of fun with those 3, by the way.
I totally do. And that's another thing. Like, I hope, please don't come to my breakup. Please don't, if you are not ready to laugh, have fun, and learn so much that you are going to walk out of there on fire. And I swear, I don't care if I have 7 minutes of my breakout, I will do that for you in that time, because that's just how I roll.
It's wicked. And Jane is leading a 1-hour breakout, so you're going to get great depth and details. Some of what she's teaching, I actually saw and experienced at a mastermind I was at in Phoenix. And it was, we sometimes talk about pack your bag moments, and what I deem to be a pack your bag moments. And all of you coming to Vegas, I ask you to hold this idea in your head and heart, which is there will be 1 or 2 ideas that it's like, I just got every single cent, all of my investment in terms of value back. And that's what we call a pack your bags moment. Now you're going to get way more than that. I give you my word, like not 1 or 2, you'll get 20, 30, 40, or 50. And that is not an exaggeration. But I can guarantee you that when I saw Jane frame this entire piece, that was my pack my bags moment for a mastermind that I paid a chunk of cash to get to and participate in all those sorts of things. So one of the reasons why I'm thrilled and honored, number one, to have you, and number two, for you to come and share time and space with us. Anything else you want to leave our crew with as they are planning and preparing to get their butt to Vegas for Mastermind to Millions Live?
You know what, the biggest thing I would love to emphasize is the bags that you pack. Just bring stuff you're going to use from this day forward. Don't bring the bag of knowledge and thoughts and beliefs about yourself, or beliefs about the industry, or beliefs about anything you've done before. Leave that bag at home. Come with a new mind. Come with an open mind, because what's going to drop in for you is going to be fresh and new. That's going to give you a new direction that you can take your business. So I would just say, leave the old thinking, the old stories behind. And this is my biggest tip: do not come and be afflicted with comparanoia. And that is a big thing everybody does. They're like, my business isn't as big, or how did they do it? They're a jerk. Or leave the comparisons behind. We all have a unique gift, a special gift, and we just have to play in our genius. So we're going to get in our lanes. Don't compare to anybody in the room, because there's always someone less than you. There's always someone better than you. You are you, and you are perfectly enough with who you are. So I really look forward to seeing everybody there and hanging out and having a really powerful time.
Mm-hmm. That is so cool. And I love that you said that. And you don't know this, but actually in my introduction, we actually lay a little bit of that foundation. And one of the things I believe most fervently is that comparison is the thief of joy.
Absolutely.
And our events aren't really like anyone else's. Like, we have a ton of fun. We laugh our ass off. We get an inordinate amount done, but we do it in a joyful, passionate, humorous way, because honestly, I'm too goddamn old to do anything that I don't really enjoy doing and don't really love to do. So I'm not going to do it. So it's either going to be fun and enjoyable and meaningful, or we're just not doing it. So I love that you brought that up, because it is totally consistent with how we set up the entire event, and how we play. So very cool. So Jane, I just want to say, I so deeply appreciate you coming. I appreciate you taking time from your holiday. I want you to get back to your lollygagging in the woods as fast as you can. I, on the other hand, will be getting ready for Mastermind to Millions Live. Feel no pity for me. It'll be okay.
I'm feeling bad. I'm feeling bad. I might not go mountain biking. I don't know. I'm feeling really bad for you.
Just so what this means, by the way, gang, this means that she's going to be texting me pictures all day long of all the lazy shit she's doing all day long. Anyway, so I look forward to seeing you in Vegas. Thank you for crafting time. And gang, if anything about communicating, speaking from the stage to fill your masterminds and create a lineup in your business resonates with you, get your ass to Vegas and make sure that you attend my dear friend Jane's breakout session. We'll see you in Vegas.
Have a good one.